So the day is here. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle remake. Never thought I'd say those words. Didn't think we'd ever get a remake to this, but I should know better. They have to remake everything. Was a big fan of this film growing up. I've seen it many, many times. We watched and reviewed the original just today. It's up right now. That's a very long spoiler discussion, and for some reason I decided to call the dad in that movie David instead of Michael. So there's that. Anyway, so yeah, a Hulu original straight to VOD remake of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle starring Micah Monroe and Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yeah.
Was definitely intrigued by that cast. Had it been anybody else, you know, some randos, I probably would not have been as interested. But because I like both of them quite a bit, it was like, okay, well, at least it's them, if nothing else, right?
True.
Okay, so you know what these movies are missing?
What?
A hand rocking a cradle. Yeah. That doesn't happen in either movie. They're in cribs.
They don't rock.
There's no cradles. Why is there no hands?
I guess a cradle is like rocking. A little, has to swing.
Yeah, you rock your cradle. Yeah, well, there's none of that in this.
No, there's not. Boo. False
Boo.
advertising.
0 out of 10. Okay. So, for those of you who don't know anything about the original, did they follow the first film? Sort of. So, what is this one about? Okay, so we have a woman who has just given birth, and she meets a young lady who, I think they're supposed to be around the same age, actually. Even though Mary Elizabeth seems a bit older.
That much around the same age. They're probably like...
I think the characters are supposed to be around
6
the
years
exact same
apart or
age.
something.
So anyway, regardless, she meets a woman, and eventually she invites her into her home to be her live-in nanny. But maybe she doesn't have the family's best interests at heart. Yeah, so as I said, I mean, I love the original. I've seen it many, many times. You can hear us talk all about it in the other video. When it comes to remakes, I am much more open and fair. As long as it's a good film, then I don't really care. I don't need it to be like the original. That's just not something that's interesting to me. It's like, I already watched that movie. Give me something different, which is kind of ironic to say when it comes to a remake, right? It's like, I want something different, but I want it to be a remake. No, I'm fine with this not even being made, but if they're going to make it, you know, do your own spin on it, right? First off, I guess, since I've been talking too much already, what'd you think?
You know, I thought it was fine. I definitely think that they, I appreciate that they did do something different. It isn't an exact remake of the original, and I do like the story and the motivations behind the characters in this one. I think that it might be worse, actually, than what happens in the original. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. It's hard.
No, it's worse.
I mean, they're both really awful, but this, I think yeah. And
one's intentional and one isn't, but we'll move on from that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get into
this
spoilers.
This one is definitely like, there is more of a maybe gray area when it comes to the blame, or like you can kind of maybe empathize a little bit more. I don't know if that's true, but like at any rate, I do enjoy the new story. I like that there's some callbacks. There's not like a ton, but there are a few homages, things that, you know, show up in this that I appreciated. And overall, I think everyone's performance was pretty good. Pretty good, I would say.
Okay.
So
you seem very...
I guess I'm just trying not to like compare it too heavily to the original, because I think if you're asking me honestly like which one I prefer, I do think I still prefer the original, because I think that there's a little bit more of a like maybe a vibe or something to like Peyton in that, I guess, that is missing from this. but it's not something that I was expecting to be in this. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm trying not to compare, but because we watched the original just like last night, it's hard for sure.
Yeah.
And I guess part of this review is also comparing the two. But it is much more modern as well. The characters' reactions to things are a lot more modern. The situation itself feels. It's not that it's a modern situation, but the way that it's handled, I guess, which is sort of the same thing as the reactions. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I quite liked it. I think that because of the modern angle and certain elements that are introduced here, this is going to be seen as, you know, some kind of like woke agenda or some nonsense like that, which I can't take those fucking people seriously anymore, so I don't even know why I mention them. But I do feel like there is going to be some of that. Is it as good as the original? No. But do I really care? No, not really. I really like our two leads, as I expected to. I think that while Rebecca De Mornay is much more warm and inviting, Micah Monroe is an actress that I have always felt a coldness from. And, you know, she is not as believable in this as somebody who's like instantly trustworthy. But she does sell herself as kind of down on her luck, which I think there's reasons for why the mom agrees to take her in, and that will be revealed throughout the film. So I don't have an issue with that because of what ends up all happening in the story. As far as like the background of this, like of the story, like what happened and what led to this compared to the original, I mean, I think both are extremely tragic, but this was a very interesting spin on it that I quite liked. My only real like gripe with the film, I suppose, is I feel like the ending is very rushed.
I agree. Yeah,
and that was a big bummer for me, because I thought when something happened, a big moment happened, I was like, oh, okay, this is where we're going to go from here. And that could be a big obstacle to overcome.
Yeah.
And then it was like, no, it's just over.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we're just done. And then the very, very, very end, there's something with a character that was doing something that I was like, I wonder what that's supposed to mean. I don't know exactly. I have my guesses, so I'm kind of still trying to process the very, very end. But yeah, I think the acting from Mary is fantastic throughout. I think that she really sells like this desperate, angry, on edge person extremely well. And I like that she's more hip to what's going on faster than Claire in the original.
Yeah.
And I like how it's kind of used against her.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I dug this new spin on it. I liked this. Do I think it needs to be called The Hand That Rocks the Cradle? And do I think it would get less scrutiny if it was? Yes. Yes, I do. I feel like if this was not named The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, it'd be totally fine. I would be like, oh yeah, this is pretty similar to The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Does it need the title? Absolutely not. But they do that for brand recognition, right? It's like, oh, I know that name, so I'm going to check out that movie. That's why they do remakes, right? Because people don't fucking see things that are unique and original. They just don't. So they have to do this. But of course, they also shoot themselves in the foot a bit, because the people who watch it, all they can do is compare it to the original. And they always think that nothing can ever compare to the original, and they shit on it for that very reason. So yes, do I believe that this movie would have better ratings if it was not The Hand That Rocks the Cradle title attached to it? Yes, I do. Do I think all of those people would have watched this movie? No, I do not. So therein lies the conundrum.
Yeah.
Right? Most people would just ignore it. Maybe genre fans would check it out because of Micah Monroe. She's a bit of a horror, like icon.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's possible you get it there, but otherwise, like, normies are gonna be like, I'm not gonna check this out. So they get way less clicks, but they're gonna get way less scrutiny if they don't name it this. So I don't know. It's a tough balance, but I dug it. I liked that there is something added here. I guess I'll just say it's kind of a spoiler. So if you don't want to hear this at all, you can click out right now. But the more modern spin on it is the inclusion of some queer themes in it, which I actually really liked the inclusion of, and I liked that spin on it. And I just wish there was a bunch of things like that, the ending, those kinds of things. They weren't explored enough.
Yeah.
They were introduced and they were intriguing and they were like, ooh, I like this, but it just didn't fully commit to some of them. And that was the bummer of the film. Had we spent about 10 or 15 more minutes with this movie, maybe 7 more minutes with the queer story side of things, and then 7-8 minutes to the ending, I would have liked this much more.
Sure. Yeah, I definitely felt very unsatisfied with the ending.
Yeah, me too.
And as you were saying, like the kind of the last scene, I suppose I don't really know what to make of it. I mean, I think we could probably come up with some ideas of what it is, but I don't know. It feels a bit maybe tacked on or just odd, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. I think that those other themes could have been explored a bit more. You know, and maybe part of what I'm like missing from the original is it is in here too, but there feels like there's more like toying and playing in the original.
Yeah.
And like mind fucking, I guess. And that sort of happens here in a few scenes for sure. Like, it definitely isn't ignored. I mean, like, it's an element, absolutely. But I guess I just was maybe wanting a little bit more of that. But I don't know. I think I do think it was an enjoyable watch overall. And I hope that people give it a shot. I think that doing something different, they should be proud of the fact that they, you know, took a film and remade it, right, in a new way. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we talk about more, but then we get into full spoiler territory. So for now, we're just gonna.
Yeah, and if you watched our other review, that thing that we were talking about, that we were like, we'll let you know if it happens, it doesn't happen. Sorry. If you were excited for it. If you want to know what that thing is, you'll have to go watch that other review. And yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's that. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. A bit of a disappointment, but I don't think that, I wasn't expecting this to be great, and I wasn't expecting this to be better than the original. I mean,
sure.
It's got nostalgia to it. I think that, Rebecca De Mornay is just an iconic villain. That movie has been in my life and in my mind for 33 years. It's hard to replace such a thing. But I liked it. I mean, as I said, like, I feel like if we threw this on, and it wasn't The Hand That Rocks the Cradle title, and it was the exact same film, I'd be giving the exact same review, guaranteed. That shit never changes my opinion at all. I don't care. I'm just not that person.
Yeah.
I would be saying the same thing about the queer stuff and about the ending. I feel exactly the same way as I do right now, guaranteed. But you kind of have to compare it to the original because they gave it that title, and because of that, I don't care that it's not as good, but it isn't. Yeah. And, So, that's that. Let us know if you watch it. I have a feeling the general consensus on this movie is going to be a very big meh.
I do too.
So, that's okay.
But...
I'm not, like, much higher on it than that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm at like a 3.5 out of 5, maybe a 4, probably more 3.5.
I think a 3.5 is a good.
Because the ending, if the ending had nailed it, it would have been probably a 4.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Potentially.
If you're a fan of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, if you're a fan of the original, I mean, you might as well watch it if you're at all interested, just to see, what's different and see maybe you'll like it more. You never know.
It's fucking wonderful.
But you never know.
That's like a 5 for
There
me.
might be parts of this that you like more, right?
Yeah.
So definitely check it out if it is something you're interested in. If you have Hulu, obviously, it's on Hulu. So
It's on Disney Plus.
it's on Disney Plus.
Hulu
Sorry,
doesn't really exist anymore.
not on Hulu,
but it's on Hulu through Disney
Hulu
Plus.
through Disney. Yeah.
Yeah.
Confusing.
Anyway, at least is Hulu still up and going? I know that they were getting rid of it. I don't know if that has fully happened yet, but we have it through Disney Plus currently. But I don't know if Hulu's servers are still up and alive. Let us know.
Let us know.
All right, guys. We'll see you in the comments.
Bye.